Hey guys, welcome back. And if you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. It really helps out my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a rundown of the streaming service Tidal. I'm gonna do a pros and cons, so by the end of this video, you will know if it's worth it to subscribe and if it competes with Apple Music or Spotify. Tidal is owned by Jay-Z and a variety of other successful music artists, making it the first ever artist-owned streaming service in the world. So when I first opened Tidal, I was expecting to see Jay-Z's catalog, Rihanna's catalog, Beyonce's catalog, and certain Rock Nation and or Live Nation artists. I was expecting those artists to be highlighted on this platform because those artists and companies are all involved with Jay-Z. Rock Nation is Jay-Z's music company and it's a division of Live Nation. And I wasn't too far off. Right when you open Tidal, 3 years of Jay-Z's album. It's self-promotion in a way. So I'm wondering if the artists that have some sort of affiliation will get the front and center spot. You never know. So let's start with the pros. I like to start off on the positives. Right off the bat, Tidal is known for its extremely high audio quality. That's what you're paying for. That's the upper hand it has over other streaming platforms. Apple Music and Spotify, they cap out at around 320 kilobits per second with their highest audio quality settings. Whereas Tidal, if you have a Tidal Hi-Fi plan, it caps out at 1,411 kilobits per second. Now it's not as clear cut, there's other things influencing the sound like compression and things like that, so when you compare the two, it's not just strictly the kilobits per second, but that said, it still is 3 times the bit rate of Spotify and Apple Music, which doesn't mean 3 times the quality though. When I tried it out, I was like, whoa. It blew my mind. I was listening with my favorite headphones, the Audio-Technica ATH M50s, which I will link in my description. The audio is insane. It's really, really good. Especially when I listen to Bad Guy by Billie Eilish on my Audio-Technicas. It sounds like those videos where people edit the audio of music to create 8D audio. That's how clear it was. It was so multi-dimensional. It sounded extremely different from Apple Music and Spotify, and I was blown away. So the audio quality is a huge pro. Right when you open Tidal, you can tell that it is built around music quality and that music quality is one of its biggest marketing features. So when you open Tidal, you can see, if you scroll, new hi-fi tracks for you, and certain tracks have a little orange emblem on them, which means that it is master quality. So the studio master quality. And it's only available on certain tracks. But then you can see new hi-fi albums, master quality authenticated albums. So if you click on Miguel's album, you can see the M is next to each song. So you can tell that Tidal really does take music quality into consideration, and it does highlight which songs in its catalog have that master quality. I also think that the album cover GIFs are kind of cool. It's just a small thing, but it is kind of cool. Next up for pros is music videos. So Tidal actually comes equipped with music video capabilities. So if you click on an artist like Miguel and you scroll down, the music videos are right there, which is pretty cool. I know Apple Music does this, but Spotify does not. And this integration was really nice. So next up for the pros is the algorithm. So Tidal does have its own algorithm. I did compare a couple of songs by going in and pressing the track radio on each song on Spotify and Tidal to see what differences I would find, if any. And I was really surprised. As an example of how Spotify's algorithm differs from Tidal's algorithm and vice versa, the song The Steps by Haim, I went into each platform and clicked go to radio, and I compared the two. So, as you can see on Spotify, they compare Haim to Fickle Friends, San Cisco, Claro, and I just don't think that's as accurate as this side, where it compares Haim's song to The Strokes, The Killers, and Perfume Genius. So, a fun fact about the band is that the lead singer, Danielle Haim, was actually an understudy for The Strokes. So putting that song against The Strokes is more of an accurate recommendation, in my opinion, than San Cisco, The Aces, and Fickle Friends. Nothing against them. They are kind of similar in a way, but I think that this side, where it compares it to more of the rock side, is more of an accurate recommendation for that song. I think Spotify is comparing the band overall, whereas this side, what I noticed about Tidal's algorithm is it seems to take into account the individual song. And I don't know how they do it, but it does seem that way, and I appreciate it. Then when I clicked on a song by Will Joseph Cook, it seemed like Spotify got that recommendation better. What I liked about the Tidal algorithm, even though it doesn't know my listening habits as much as Spotify, Tidal is giving me songs that I've never heard before consistently. Whereas on Spotify, sometimes I will get songs that I've heard before, and I don't think it was as accurate as Tidal's. So that is a pro for Tidal. I really appreciated their algorithm. I think their recommendations were really nice. So next up for the pros is the credits. So Tidal doesn't only take into account the music quality, but it also takes into account the credits. Spotify recently started showing credits, and Apple Music has as well. But when you click on the credits for an album here, it goes through track by track. A Beautiful Exit, Miguel, producer, composer, lyricist, engineer, performer, mixing engineer, recording engineer. I think I saw somewhere even where it was recorded, which is so cool. I just love that aspect, that it goes deep into the credits and credits everyone who worked on an album. On the subject of crediting the songwriters, producers, and engineers, Tidal also has a producers and songwriters section with curated playlists written by Phineas, produced by Andrew Watt, written by Rostam. All of these producers are really big producers that don't necessarily get the recognition they deserve, so I'm really happy to see this. Next up for the pros is one particular aspect of the UI display. So UI is user interface, and it's just the way that an app presents itself and the way that people interact with it. So one of the huge pros I noticed about Tidal is that when you click on a song, I don't even know, no, this one doesn't do it. When you click on certain songs, it does those little graphics that Spotify does. And it doesn't do them too clear, but it takes up the whole screen. Gets rid of the play features unless you tap on them, and it's beautiful. There were certain things I liked about this user interface because I think in a way it combines the best things between Spotify and Apple Music. Spotify takes the cake for UI and UX in my opinion, although some people prefer Apple Music. And next up is, alright, I got a lot of backlash for saying this on my Spotify versus Apple Music video, and I really just want to clarify what I mean when I say this. But Tidal does have a play next button, which means if you tap on the three dots and then you can tap play next, which Spotify doesn't have. I know the add to queue button exists on Spotify, but Spotify got rid of their play next button, which I think complicated the way people interact with it. Whereas here, yeah, so you can add a song to up next or add it to play queue, whereas Spotify only has an add to play queue button, and then you'd have to go in and rearrange your queue. So that is a huge difference. Now let's get into the cons for Tidal. So the biggest con is the price. Unlike Spotify, which offers a free version, and Apple Music, which caps out at $9.99 a month, Tidal is not inexpensive. Tidal is kind of expensive at $19.99 a month for the highest music quality. If you want the same quality 320 kilobits per second as Apple Music and Spotify, that makes it $9.99 a month. But if you're gonna go with Tidal, I think you should pay the $20 a month. I think if you're gonna only go for the 320 kilobits per second, Apple Music and Spotify are much better than Tidal. I think at that price, you get way more bang for your buck with Apple Music and Spotify at $9.99 a month. Overall, I think Apple Music and Spotify win for price and overall value. Storage is another huge con. So I've been using Tidal for around 1 month, and I've been using Spotify for around 2 years on this device. And if I go into my storage, but I know Tidal is 3 times the kilobits per second, which means it would take up more storage, but just to compare the two, because I don't have music downloaded either. So Tidal takes up 1.69 gigabytes of data, and I haven't downloaded any songs. That's just the app itself, or maybe preloading some songs. Whereas Spotify, I've had for 2 years on this device. I use extreme quality, the highest quality setting, at 320 kilobits per second, but when I click on it, it's only 330 megabytes. So 2 years of Spotify, 339 megabytes. 1 month of Tidal, 2.09 gigabytes. It's gonna eat through your storage on your device. Next up for cons, the social aspect. Spotify does this extremely well. This is where Spotify shines, seeing what your friends are listening to and recommendations overall. Whereas Tidal, their recommendations are good on the radio, but it's not personalized and there is no social functionality. So that is a huge con. You can't see what your friends are listening to if you wanted to stalk them. And then the last con, which was a huge thing for me, is cross-device functionality. So on Spotify, if I'm listening on my phone, I can connect it to my laptop. If I leave my laptop, I can pick up where I left off on my phone. On Tidal, it doesn't have that option, so I can't pick up on the same song when I leave devices, which is a huge con. Overall, I think Tidal is definitely worth the trial. I think you should definitely give it a try. I think it offers a different perspective on music where it credits the songwriters, the engineers, and gives you access to that master quality of music so you can experience music in its highest quality format. So it's definitely worth a try, but that said, I don't think the value of it balances out. I think that Spotify and Apple Music are better as for now just because of the price and the social features. But definitely give it a try. You can use the link in my description. If you use my link, you get an extra 30 days. So you will get a 60-day trial, and I think if you use my link, I don't get paid, but I might get extra time on Tidal. I'm not even sure. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you've tried Tidal, if you noticed any differences, and how you think it compares to Spotify and Apple Music. And if you want to see more from me, click the subscribe button. I post a new video every Thursday, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.